like and subscribe, and you'll have amazing luck for the rest of the week. You probably heard stories about mythical creatures existing thousands of years ago and shrugged them off as folklore. Many had also doubted some animals' existence until scientists proved otherwise. These 12 mythical creatures actually existed in real life. Mermaids. Tales of mermaids are rampant across the world. These creatures are described as half-fish hybrids that lived in the ocean. Sailors and divers have told stories of their experiences with these marine beings, but some have doubted their existence, saying it's a myth. Surprisingly, many of these stories are real, although often exaggerated. Christopher Columbus is one famous man who claimed the encounter of a mermaid during his first trip to America. He described them as not so beautiful, and their faces as having masculine traits. Scientists believe that what many call mermaids are manatees, closely related to dugongs. Both animals are also called sea cows due to their massive size. Sailors mistook them for mermaids due to their unique human and fish-like features. An adult sea cow measures 6 feet long, about the same height as an adult human. They also have 5 human fingers like bones on their flippers, and can stand on shallow waters like humans. This explains why they may have been misunderstood over the years. Most Zimbabweans think differently about the issue of mermaids. They believe these mythical creatures are too real to be ignored. Kraken. The Kraken is one of the most fearsome sea monsters on the globe. Ancient sailors who encountered the beast described it as a huge octopus-like creature, so jealous of humans that it was fond of sinking ships and eating the crew. Legend has it that this monster sank the ships with its strong arms. If the ship was too sturdy to sink so fast, it began swimming in circles until it created a whirlpool that sunk the ship. While many believe this creature didn't exist anymore, scientists think it's the modern-day giant squid. However, the giant squid is smaller and less violent than the witnesses described. There's also no account of it sinking ships. The Kraken became real after a giant squid fossil was found on a shore in Denmark in 1863. This creature is elusive and is inspired by legend. It lives so deep in the water that very little is known about it. The largest giant squid ever discovered measures 18 meters and is often hunted by sperm whales for food. While they often flee at the sight of whales, they sometimes stand their ground to fight back. Dragons. Dragons are one of the most commonest mythical creatures that exist. Their looks vary depending on their species, but the most common description of the animal is that it has a reptile-like body, sharp claws, and bat-like wings. Some say they breathe fire out of their mouths. One wonders why dragons have varied descriptions since they're a single animal. Scientists say real dragons have varied looks and live in different parts of the world. Their geographical location played a crucial role in their looks. Millions of years after they left the Earth, their remains became fossils, which helped natives have a mental picture of what they looked like. Some were huge, and some weren't. Others had sharp claws, and some reptile-like bodies. While scientists prefer to call them dinosaurs rather than dragons, their origin remains a myth, especially in China. There are countless dragon stories in China, especially because of some fossilized bones that were discovered there. Pouakai. Many folk tales across cultures tell the bizarre story of a mythical giant flying bird fond of snatching humans from the ground and taking them to a lonely place to devour them. You can imagine the size of the animal that carries a human, and no one dare challenge it. The bird is called Pouakai, meaning old glutton in English. Frederick Richardson, a taxidermist at Canterbury Museum, later found out in 1871 that the creature believed to be a myth existed. Today, it's called a host eagle. It used to be the largest eagle ever to roam the earth. Its wings measured 3 meters, and its major prey was the moa bird, which weighed between 100 and 250 kilograms. Humans weigh less, except for obese people, so it's possible that they preyed on us. Moa and host eagles evolved independently of humans. This probably explains why they feed on humans. They've been living in New Zealand long before humans migrated there. These birds may have confused the early people from moa birds because they wore clothes mistaken for feathers. On the other hand, they wanted to spice up their menu by adding humans to their diet. Roc. If you were happy that you weren't born when the Haast eagle was on the prowl, you should be more grateful you didn't meet Rock. While the former would feast on only one human, the latter settles for a community. It's believed that the Rock could lift a fully grown elephant off the ground. Okay, I agree this sounds too exaggerated, but you get the point. Sailors claim that the Rock lived on an island off the African coast. Further investigations by scientists reveal that the Rock was actually the Epiornis, or elephant bid. It weighed half a ton and grew up to 10 feet. Therefore, it's the largest bird to ever exist. This creature lived in Madagascar, an island off the coast of Africa. Therefore, it matches Rock's description. However, the Epiornis couldn't lift a bird as earlier speculated because it was flightless. Moreover, there are no birds in Madagascar. Experts say that humans are the reason for this bird's extinction. They speculated that they were hunted out of existence. Unicorns. The unicorn is a famous mythical horse with a horn in the middle of its head. Stories of this bizarre animal have been told so much that it feels too real to be fake. Unicorns aren't horses, like you may imagine, but rhinoceroses. They're similar to the extinct Siberian unicorn that walked on 4 legs and had a huge horn in the middle of its head. However, the rhino was stronger, bigger, and meaner. It weighed 4 tons and scared anyone who came too close. The Siberian unicorn lived in Eurasia until extinction 39,000 years ago. Fortunately for the humans that lived during that period, the animal was a herbivore and preferred shrubs. Like modern-day rhinos, they were aggressive towards the unlucky humans that came too close. Griffins. The griffin is a hybrid mythical creature that lived thousands of years ago. Legend has it that it has the wings, face, and legs of an eagle, and the tail and hind legs of a lion. Folklore also describes them as flying animals. This creature existed before the first humans appeared. They were a type of dinosaur called Protoceratops because they walked on 4 legs and had a beak but didn't have wings. These monsters existed when people had little knowledge of dinosaurs, and only birds were believed to have beaks. Therefore, people used the opportunity to claim they had seen the animal with a beak. Moreover, having a beak shouldn't be a big deal if it had wings. Well, you wouldn't blame locals for ascribing wings to it. Studies show that it had long shoulder blades that were mistaken for wings. Sea serpent. The sea serpent is a ferocious creature believed to have hunted weaker ocean creatures. Ancient seafarers told tales of these monsters so much that they were entrenched in folklore. From their name, you can guess they were a fish-snake hybrid. Like the Kraken, pockets of evidence suggest they existed, but these stories are often exaggerated. First, scientists say what's called the sea serpent is an oarfish. Pictures of this animal reveal that it resembles a fish-snake hybrid. However, this is only the physical features that connects both animals. The oarfish is smaller, but longer than the sea serpent. It measures 30 feet long, making it the longest bony fish on the planet. Unfortunately, our knowledge of this animal is limited, since it lives underwater. However, we know that it feeds on small marine creatures like crustaceans and krill. It was officially discovered in 1772, centuries after the legend it inspired first appeared. The Yeti. The Himalayan people of China and Nepal have told stories of a big, hairy, 6-foot-tall creature called the Yeti. This monster remained unknown until 1921, when some British explorers claimed to have found its footprints on Mount Everest. Explorers said the local guides knew about the footprints and called them Pouakai, meaning man-bear snowman. After the tourists descended from the mountain, they were interviewed by Henry Newman, a journalist who misinterpreted Meto as filthy. It was later changed to abominable, earning Yeti a new name, the Abominable Snowman. The name may sound as though it belonged to an undiscovered ancient human. Well, this creature was a human-sized bear living in the snowy region. It's a Himalayan black or brown bear that lives in the region. Like Yeti, both bears are huge and hairy. DNA tests on the species reveal that the skin, teeth, hair, and feces that belong to the Yeti also belong to the bears. Direwolf. Direwolves have existed in the imaginations of many before appearing in the show Game of Thrones. They weighed about 150 pounds and were larger than modern-day gray wolves. They lived throughout large swaths of the Americas and fed on megafaunas like ground sloths and Ice Age horses. Despite featuring in many fictional tales, we don't know much about them. However, scientists suggest that they may have had semblance with gray wolves. Although they survived for hundreds of millennia, they died 13,000 years ago. Surprisingly, scientists researched this creature's genome but were disappointed with the result. They expected them to be close relatives to the gray wolf, only to realize they were distant cousins. The question of why they went extinct remains a mystery to this day. Gorilla. Between the 5th and 6th centuries, Hanno, an explorer from the ancient Carthage, found a tribe of hairy people in West Africa. He claimed that the people had more males than females. The hairy females were called gorillas. He said that they fled when his team chased the people, but the men were faster. Most of them climbed cliffs, from where they threw stones at their perceived attackers. Since the females were slower, his team captured about 3 of them. Hanno killed and skinned them to travel home with some of the skin samples. Since the incident, the creature became folklore because no one saw them ever again. Today, we understand that what Hanno saw weren't humans, but apes, which we now call gorillas. To this day, scientists still debate whether Hanno saw a gorilla or an ape species.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works.
Narwal. If you've ever seen or heard of a narwhal, the easiest way to describe them is to call them a dolphin with horns. These porpoise have an ivory tusked tooth sticking out of its upper lip, resembling a horn. This tooth grows up to 9 feet long for males and is used for mating rituals and fighting potential attackers. These extremely rare creatures are about 45,000 to 50,000 in the wild. Folklore about this animal is rooted in natural and cultural history. Among the Inuit is the 19th and 20th centuries. The narwhal was a woman with long hair twisted like a tusk. The woman was the stepmother to a blind boy. Although she had plenty of meat, she starved the child. However, his sister would hide some meat to give to her brother when their stepmother was absent. The woman transformed into a narwhal when she saw a pod of white whales swimming nearby. She wanted to have them, but the son, pretending to help her, pushed her to the whales. She drowned in the water, and the creature stripped her of her beauty and twisted her into a horn when she was out. Until next time, adios.